this works. Oh, it did. What a blessing.
Hallelujah.
Okay,
so like now we hear thumbs up
so
above.
you guys were silent the entire time as soon as I hit record.
Why does it sound like somebody's like hitting like a tennis ball or something? Like, what are you doing?
Perhaps they are.
Perhaps. Quick round of ping pong, you know?
There you go, Miss Girl.
Thanks, Miss Girl.
Where else are you going to play ping pong other than in your apartment?
On the floor, exactly.
Exactly. I'm going to keep that. Okay. Today's a really special episode because it's our last episode of season 1 of Tea Tales and Talks.
We did it.
When this is posted, it will be on the day of our 1-year anniversary, which
I wanted to like do like a little cheers, like clink clink sound, but I don't. Clink.
Yeah.
Champagne.
Woo!
Woo!
Celebrate. Woo!
I need a little soundboard. Oh my gosh.
Now she's a
Season
DJ.
2, I'm getting a soundboard. We're going crazy, guys.
We're going crazy. But yeah, this is kind of crazy. Okay, this episode is a little bit different in that we're not talking about history and we're not talking about ghosts. Kind of, we are.
We're still talking about the paranormal.
We are still talking about paranormal, and I don't know why I named it this. It's because I needed something with paranormal in the title, and I needed something with bridge, because today we're talking about the Bridgewater Triangle.
Bum, bum, bum.
And
soundboard.
We're quote unquote bridging the paranormal gap. I don't know what that means, but
I'm ready for it. I'm here for it.
Made a good title, so
It works.
it works for us.
We also switched up the recording location today,
we
too.
did. Which is fine.
It also might have been better if we sat at the dining table. That's like we did it at Trish's and we looked at each other. I don't remember that much. Someone was heavily pouring me wine.
Who was it?
Daisy.
It was one of the ghosts.
That was the act. That was not. That was the devil made me do it case.
I think. Yeah, you remember better than I do.
I remember the first part because it was a good episode, guys. If you haven't listened to that,
You should.
go listen. You can wait. We'll wait.
We can wait.
You go. Listen.
You go.
You cannot wait.
Don't wait. We'll wait. I'm like gonna cry a little bit.
I'll cry at the outro. Don't worry.
Because
I'll take that one.
It's our last. It's not. I'm like crying like we're ending the podcast. We're
be back.
simply gonna take like a month and a half break. Like it's not a big deal. But
We're gonna and continue to do stuff for the podcast too. Like twist my arm, make me hang out with you longer.
what a task to hang out with you.
You were gone for so long. I'm actually banking from the time you went away.
You have to make up
I
for
have
all
unspent
the time.
Sarah time, so you went away for 2 weeks in like during the holidays. So I was off work, and then she left, and then
and then I left again for a week.
Yeah, for the long weekend
To Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, the home of the vampires. Just kidding. That's Transylvania.
That's Transylvania. The way I was like, wait, isn't it?
I do get them mixed up regularly, so Track said I got it mixed up again.
Okay, ready? I won't cry. I'm like actually trying not to. Okay, we'll be back. Like it's fine. It's never gonna be this way again, which is fine. And we love change. We accept it, but
Here comes the tears. They're on the scene.
we're closing a chapter.
And opening
a new one. And
Sarah.
Mackenzie pulled a card, and it's the strength card. And I'm just trying not to bawl my eyes out right now. It's the last one. We've practiced this 34 times.
Yes, ma'am.
We've done this 34 times.
That's a good number.
Okay, I gotta do the intro. We're 10 minutes in already. I haven't even introduced the
Sarah's
podcast.
going too hard into numerology right now, guys.
It's just a little... 3 and 4 is 7. 7's a lucky number.
For both of us. For just us.
For just us.
It's just very symbolic of us.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome to Tea Tales and Talks, where we talk about spooky things, drink some tea, and try not to get too scared. I'm Sarah, I'll be your host.
And I'm Mackenzie. I'll be your co-host.
For these strange and occasionally unsettling tales. Oh, In this episode, we're taking a final dive / jump / pike jump
Break it!
of this season straight into the Bridgewater Triangle. So grab your favorite teacup and join us for this creepy and arguably sentimental journey. Ting!
Ding! Cheers!
Cheers! Happy 1 year Twitchy Witchies.
Happy 1 year! Thanks for
I'm
being
gonna bake
here.
a cake.
Oh.
It's just gonna be a round cake. I can't really do that.
Okay,
Intricate.
I can.
Personally, it's just gonna be like a.
Personally, I'm a cake snob.
Personally.
I've had a
If
bakery
you're-
since I was 8 years old.
If your mom was doing it, I would entrust her to do a ghost and a teacup or something. Ours will be a circle.
Can I get my mom to make decorations for it if you just make the cake?
Sure.
Okay.
Because otherwise it will just have badly written 1 year. That's it. So people are going to think it's our 1 year anniversary. 1 year of what? Who knows? I can do.
Oh, you can do anything, girl.
Well, that's a stretch.
Yes, yeah.
I can't even make my cookies not rock hard.
They're
so-
delicious.
So
They're gonna be gone by the end of this weekend.
I made 34.
Please bring some more over.
Keep it. It's truly insane that we've been doing this thing for a full year now, and seeing how far that we've come and how much we've grown, not just in the podcast space but also in our lives, and like we've grown personally too as people. I think even just for like myself, I want to listen to our first podcast and see how we sounded, how we spoke, like how like shy and like cute we were. I guess. Innocent. We are no longer innocent in so many ways.
So much character development has
It's a
happened in the
lot. A
last
lot has
year.
happened.
And not even the last year, just the last like 3 months.
Yeah.
Which means all of 2026, like we said,
I think this is,
turning point.
yeah, this is our year. We're grabbing it. What did we say in the New Year's episode? It's the year of intentions. And
Making shit happen.
we're intentionally grabbing this year
By everything.
by it's everything.
And making it ours. If you can say that.
If that's
If we can say that without getting in trouble.
It's actually like really crazy to me that there are other people out there who are into the same like weird stuff that we're into and spooky stuff too. And it does make me really emotional. That we get to talk about all of the ghosty and witchy and spiritual stuff that we like, and that we talk about that on a day-to-day.
Regularly.
Without the podcast, we were talking about that stuff and like texting each other. You'll never believe what I just saw. Look at all these angel numbers.
Weird thing. Yeah, and sending each other like posts and like stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's just funny that we like connected on stuff like that, and then now we get to connect with more people, and you guys don't think that we're weird.
Well, maybe you do, but that's okay. We're
To
weird
an
all together.
extent. But that's so nice that we can like do this without feeling judgment or yeah. And we want to say thank you for that.
Thanks, guys.
And obviously it goes without saying that we couldn't have done any of this without our faithful listeners. All 5 of you, we love you.
All of our twitchy witchies.
We love you guys so much. Few and far between they are. We appreciate you guys
Very,
so
very
much. So much. Love you so hard, and thank you forever.
Love you so hard. Who?
I love saying that.
I love you so hard.
But I'm really excited. I'm so excited for season 2. We already have a bunch of new episode ideas and a little schedule, and
We've begun writing.
it's banger after banger after banger. Like,
Yeah. Like season 1 was good, guys, and we got a lot
Yes.
of good episodes and
Yeah.
like good episodes in a good sequence.
Mhm.
But this one's gonna kind of just hit you at a left field, right field, and then knock you right out of the park.
I was gonna say it's gonna hit your it's gonna hit your spot.
It's gonna hit your spot. It's gonna,
You know?
it's gonna hit the G spot.
Yep. The good spot.
The good.
The ghost spot.
Ghost, good. Whatever
Oh my
you guys
God.
want to use
Okay,
it
if you
for.
guys want to have a podcast, name it the G Spot, and it's about ghosts. That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good idea. I was just editing the Fae episode, and we mentioned how it would be so cute to have one of those books about like little creatures and entities and whatever, like in Spiderwick. And I'm just reiterating that we would love that.
help us find it, guys.
Like, please help us. Like, someone make it for us.
This is something we need to collaborate with.
We-
I have something similar for the Shadowhunters, like, series. Like, they did, like, a codex that has, like, different creatures, and they did, like, different illustrations. So it's like that, but more with the actual, like, folklore and all of those creatures.
Honestly, even, like...
Even our cryptids.
Cryptids, like, little creatures, fairies.
Like different tabs that have different sections, but the tabs all look differently based on
like,
the...
I love the look of, like, field research, like,
Notes.
Journals. So it's, like, there's
Leather-bound.
diagrams, it's, like, really, it's cute, and it's, like, a little vintagey.
Worn. Hand done.
Yes. So...
Also maybe not hand done, depending on how big it is. But, like, hand done would be really cool.
Or okay, that would be, like, really cool if we had one person made one page.
Everyone does
one.
Claim it. We'll all put it together, and then we'll group publish it.
Yes. We'll publish it. And some of the, like, little things can be, like little creature things that we made up.
Yeah.
Like, whatever we talked about.
Oh, details and talks.
Because sometimes
Almanac.
Yeah. Like, we just need, we need a Tea-Tales and Talks dictionary, a field guide, if you will.
A field guide.
A field guide. If anyone wants to do that for us.
We can make it happen in season 2.
Now, if you're new here, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We have indeed been waiting for you. We've been waiting 365 days for you to join. If you're not new, then you probably know a little bit about the Tea-Tales and Talks lore by now. We do have lore. I don't know if it's, like, good lore, but, like, we do have some.
We have it.
And if you know us, then you know that we love Massachusetts. And we are neither from there, nor are we in Massachusetts, but we love it.
Nor have any family relation there.
No, we have zero roots
connection.
there, no connection to it, other than we just like it. Haven't been there before, but...
We'll get there one day.
We'll get there. It seems that most of our cases and stories and locations that we cover always bring us back to Massachusetts. And we love Salem so much, obviously. We love the East Coast. I like it. I like the East Coast more than the West Coast. That's just a me thing. And personally, I'm just putting this out here because...
She's manifesting. It's the year of intentions.
Yes, I'm setting an intention that I would really love to live in Marblehead, Massachusetts. And I quite literally went on a quest, like, a long time ago, looking up, like, little seaside towns on the East Coast. And I found that one, and it's beautiful. It's historic. It's, like, I love it. I just love it there. I have to. I don't know. I just have to be there. So anyways, Massachusetts in general has a very special place in our hearts. And our very, very first episode, which I think was called Piping Hot Boston Tea, we covered the Boston Tea Party and some hauntings around Boston. And that kind of kickstarted our Massachusetts love connection. I don't know. But we love it. So today, for our last episode of our first podcast season, okay, I want to specify that we're not ending the podcast.
This is just the end of season 1.
It's just the end of season 1. We are jumping back into our Massachusetts roots and diving into a location that I have honestly had in my back pocket since we started.
Oh, she's been waiting for this one.
This one has been up my sleeve. Today, we are exploring the Bridgewater Triangle.
Dun, dun, dun.
Boom, boom, boom.
Play a little musical instrumental of a triangle. Bing, 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 bing.
All right.
Well, Sarah, what is the Bridgewater Triangle?
Well, in 1983, there was a cryptozoologist by the name of Lorne Coleman who published a book called Mysterious America, in which he detailed strange activity within a certain area of Massachusetts that he named the Bridgewater Triangle. So, the Bridgewater Triangle is an area in southern Massachusetts that spans about 200 square miles. So that's quite a large area.
It's quite huge.
It's It's surrounded by the towns Abington, Freetown, and Rehoboth. In general, it's a similar phenomenon to the Bermuda Triangle, but I would say it's a little bit less known and a little bit more of... I was going to say a threat. It's not a threat. It's not a threat. But it's just, you're more likely to stumble into it than you are stumbling into the Bermuda Triangle. The triangle is made up of a lot of deep forest and some swamp areas, as well as some rural, I can't say it. Rural. Okay. I have trouble with my R's sometimes.
Well, me too. I had a speech therapist for it.
Wow. So, rural. Okay. Partially developed areas and a lot of back roads. So, to get a better idea of the area and the terrain, I'll tell you the main landmark points and areas that make up the triangle. Number 1 is Hockomock Swamp.
That is not how I read that.
Oh, how did you read it?
Hemlock, but I don't know why. That's not how it's spelled.
Nope. There's nary an L, nary an E.
It starts with an H and ends with "ock." That's it.
Hemlock.
And I was like, okay, cool.
This one is Hockomock. And this swamp is said to be the heart of the triangle, and this area is deeply dense wetland area. Deeply dense. Deep and dense, both. It's known to local Native American tribes as the, quote, place where spirits dwell. Whenever I see, like, translations for stuff like this, I'm always a little bit skeptical, especially because we don't know. Like, we have no experience with the language, so if there's anybody out there who could verify if that's true. Also, there's a little bit of a rumor that...
Always a rumor.
that they call this place Devil's Swamp, and that's, like, allegedly the colonists who colonized the area were, I guess, trying to understand the translation of the name, and they were like, oh, it's where spirits dwell, and, like, bad things are going on there, so they called it Devil's Swamp. Anyways, it features deeply dense vegetation, swampy ground, and spots that are particularly hard to move through and navigate. Then we have our next little landmark is the Freetown Fall River State Forest. It's another focal point within the triangle, and this forest is characterized, again, by being deeply dense.
We're just deeply dense in the Bridgewater Triangle.
We're deep and dense into the triangle.
I feel like that's a consistent thread, though, when paranormal stuff starts happening.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of, like, nature there, and there's a lot of, like, trees and overgrowth, and...
When it's, like, compact, when it's dense vegetation, it's, it does something. It messes with...
the balance, or the frequencies.
Yes, yeah. Well, yeah, that is true, because it, like, affects radios and, like, cell signals and stuff, so there's something to it. But this forest has a lot of tree cover.
So you can't see through, like, if you're flying over
It's
above.
hard to see through. But it also has some rocky terrain. It has some smaller bodies of water inside of it. It's got some isolated areas that are quite far from civilization. Now, this is a state forest, okay? So I'm thinking, like, national park-esque.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If I say density one more time...
Take a shot every time. No,
no, please don't.
Don't. Another one. Respect your liver.
Yes. This forest is a tourist and local attraction, and it has many, many trails and paths and roads inside of it. So it's just whoever likes nature, everybody's out there hunting, fishing, riding their dirt bikes, riding their normal bikes, going for walks. I think that they do, like, little events and stuff. I'm sure if they have, like, little camps and things for kids, they do stuff there. It's, like, a very significant point inside of the triangle. Then we have Lake Nippin...
I just saw this written it, and I was like, I can't wait to see it.
I have to look it up because I have it written there as Nippinicket, but I think it's Nippinticket. Ticket or Nippinicket? Oh, it's Nippinicket. Okay. Nippinicket, Lake Nippinicket, which is located on the edge of the Hockomock Swamp. That's it. It's just a big lake. There's not much to tell. It's a lake. It's surrounded by forest, and it's a lake. It's not one of the Great Lakes. It's not that big, but it is a lake nonetheless. And that's all.
And that's all you get, guys.
So thank you for joining us for our very last episode.
Season 1.
A great conclusion. So that is kind of the lay of the land geographically. But I want you to keep in mind that these areas, as we dive into them, they've got a lot of strange happenings going on.
Mm-hmm.
But that will give you an idea of, like, what it looks like in the triangle. It's not the Bermuda Triangle.
No, because the Bermuda Triangle is in the middle of the water.
Yes, it is.
So it's all ocean.
But in the same way that you can get lost in the Bermuda Triangle, it's very easy to get lost inside of the Bridgewater Triangle. Mm-hmm. But that being said, there are, like, towns and, like, subdivisions.
And people
live in the triangle. So it's not as rural as, obviously, the Bermuda Triangle. Anyways, okay, I'm over-explaining myself. I do want to note that researchers have found this area to be unusually populated with quartz, which, if you're into crystals or into science, quartz is a high-energy stone that is also used in watches and batteries because it vibrates at such a high frequency, and it's a stable frequency too. So I'm not saying that has to do with all the stuff going on, but I'm not saying it doesn't.
It's a contributing factor.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like a magnetic factor. Yeah.
You guys add it up. We're just gonna leave it there.
1 + 1 is 2. So, okay, why is the Bridgewater Triangle so weird? You may be asking us.
Just seems like a big, thick forest. Deeply dense forest, Sarah.
It's a deeply dense area. I don't know. Yes, this area is deeply dense and heavily forested with deep swamps and extremely remote back roads. However, that's not what makes this place creepy. The Bridgewater Triangle is known locally and infamously as a place for paranormal and unexplainable happenings. For decades, locals have been talking about the experiences within the triangle. Paranormal, poltergeist activity, UFO sightings, cryptids spotted, light anomalies in the sky, unexplainable deaths, and people going missing, and the list goes on. It seems that everything and anything paranormal in the region has accumulated into this one specific area.
Like it's all being pulled there.
Yeah.
Drawn.
200 square meters of just pure paranormal. So, I want us to visit some places within the triangle. Okay, so walk with me here. I'll take us to a few focal points of activity, and I'll tell you the legends and lore of the area, as well as a few experiences tied to each spot. So, starting off with the Freetown Fall River State Forest. We're deep and dense in the forest.
Deep and dense. Always starting in the forest.
This place has been associated with a lot of both paranormal activity and strange crimes. This forest is known among some as the most haunted forest in Massachusetts, and it's also known as the Cursed Forest of Massachusetts. That gives you a little idea.
A little idea of what we're getting into.
Going on. The forest is known for various crimes and frequent cult activity, some even involving animal sacrifice. Yeah. In 1978, we're starting off with a little crime here.
Mm-hmm.
In 1978, the body of a 15-year-old girl, Mary Lou Aruda, was found tied to a tree in the woods. She was a local who had been abducted from the nearby town of Raynham about 2 months before she was found in the forest. So she, went missing, and people were like, what the fuck?
She's gone. Yeah,
where is she? And then they found her, not only in the forest, but tied to a tree.
Where was she close to? Do you know if they were close to where she went?
I don't
missing.
I didn't look too much into it because there's so much. I had to pick and choose the information to write down, but I don't think it was that far from where she went, where she lived. But how did she end up there?
Mm-hmm.
There was a man named James M. Cater who was tried 4 times for the kidnapping and murder of Mary Lou, and eventually convicted. I couldn't find this, and I also didn't dive too deep into it, but why was he tried 4 times for this?
Yeah, that's weird.
Right?
Maybe something like jury tampering or something with the judicial processing, but still.
4 times? Yeah, that's
all suspicious.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's a little suspect.
I get 1 or 2.
But 4 times. In the 1980s, police were investigating a murder near the forest when they were approached by a number of locals who claimed to have witnessed satanic cult activity in the woods.
So fun and cool. They're actually, I didn't see anything about that murder, but there's been a cult.
Yeah, but there is a cult.
Doing some rituals.
A satanic cult at that. Some people believe that these cult reports were connected to the so-called Fall River cult killings that were happening around the same time. This is just a little brief overview of what the Fall River cult killings were. They were a series of 3 homicides that took place in Fall River, Massachusetts from October 1979 to February 1980. Allegedly, this was carried out by a satanic cult run by a man named Carl Drew, who was the leader. He was eventually convicted along with an accomplice, Robin Murphy, for the murders, and the victims of the murders were 17-year-old Doreen Levesque, 19-year-old Barbara Raposa, and 20-year-old Karen Marsden. All of these young girls were involved in sex work in the area. That's not a judgment at all, that's just a factual statement. And this is to say that they were especially vulnerable.
Yeah.
Not only being young girls, but being young girls in sex work. Carl Drew allegedly had a wooden shack inside the forest somewhere where a lot of cult activities were practiced, and it's said that people have been trying to find it for a very long time, and
they still haven't found it?
They can't find it, or some people said that it's just it's remnants of the shack, it's not a complete thing, but it's hard to find, people can't really find it. So that's a little weird. They're strange.
There's supposedly a shack out here, but you won't ever actually find it.
But you might stumble upon it by accident. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a dense forest, I believe.
It's super deep and dense. So
we're gonna get into the deep and dense forest we go.
I was just gonna say deep and oh my god, we're getting deep and dense. Guys, we have merch ideas too. I don't know. Okay, back into the triangle. They had found a lot of suspicious clearings in the state forest where the ground was stained with blood, and they believed it was animal blood because of animal sacrifices. And they have also found weirdly arranged carcasses of cattle that were later discovered in the woods, and this all added to the animal sacrifice lore and rumors that were going on. And they weren't just rumors,
Lincoln's covered his face. He doesn't like this.
He's so scared. They're, obviously a little bit more than just rumors if they're, finding evidence of animal sacrifice.
Something's definitely happening. There's big pools of blood, and there's carcasses. Something weird.
Something weird is happening. Something strange is afoot.
And they're not in the same spots either.
No. Now, there was also a lot of supposed gang activity and violence that happened and still happens within the forest, which would make sense because of how deep and dense it is. You can hide things, you can hide people.
You can hide buildings and shacks.
You can hide nefarious activities. So, in 1987, there was an incident where 4 young men from Fall River were involved in the shotgun murder of a man named Edward C. Serrato. He was a homeless man that was somehow thought to be an undercover police officer. In 2001, there was 2 men who were found dead along the Bell Rock Road. This is a road that's within the forest, and they were found with multiple bullet holes. Over the years, there have been a lot of reports of assaults around the forest and inside of it along the wooded paths. So it's a lot of real life, actual crimes that are happening in the forest. And that stuff in general, obviously I couldn't go into every single thing that happened.
There's so many cases.
There's so much.
Incidents.
And people going missing and different activities and stuff. So that covers basically the crime-related weird activity that's going on. But aside from that, there is a lot more strange paranormal happenings going on as well. On the strange side, there are a lot of reports in the early 2000s of unexplainably aggressive dogs taking over the area.
Running through the forest?
Yeah, not clear where they came from or why they were all there, but there was a period of time when there were highly aggressive groups of dogs in the forest, around the forest. I don't know why. Also, in the same year, there was apparently a runaway emu on the loose in the forest.
An emu? A runaway emu? Why was there an emu in the forest to begin with?
I don't know. Emu, they're the ostrich ones.
Yeah. They're weird. Yeah, I don't know why freaky. Besides getting emu eggs and I didn't realize there was such a demand for emu eggs.
There was one on the loose, so. Another story in 2016 reported mysteriously placed wires I also, further into my reading, it wasn't just wires, but people have also found ropes, and I'll get into it, along a heavily walked path within the forest. And they were installed at a specific height to catch off-road dirt bikers. And they were placed at neck level. So, like, in theory, if you're going really fast on a dirt bike, a metal wire is at neck height, basically, to decapitate. They don't know who did that. They don't know why they would do that. But I read another story. I think it was actually a Reddit story. And this guy said that he was dirt biking in the forest with his brother. And they found, like, actual nooses hanging from the trees, like, along the paths. Like, not like they were gonna be used.
Just, like, decoration. Like...
And he's like, we took them down because they were, again, at, like, the like, dirt bike height, like, level. Like, I don't know, that's some weird stuff. Now, within the state forest, there is also an infamous spot called the Assinet Ledge. And this is a literal ledge that drops 80 feet, overlooking a quarry at the bottom. This is notoriously a place that a lot of people go to jump off of. Many visitors to the ledge claim to have a heavy, overwhelming, eerie feeling. Also in this spot, not a lot, but I did read one person who said he's like, I'm not depressed. Like, I was not depressed when I went there, but I was getting, like, a weird feeling of, like, an urge to, like, jump.
Like a sadness, yeah.
Yeah, it was, like, an overwhelming... I kind of just want... Should I... Ooh! Some people have reported seeing ghostly figures jumping off, but then disappearing over the ledge. So it wasn't, like, a real person. It was just a figure. As well as unexpected... Like, this is what I just said. Suicidal thoughts and eerie feelings. Either that you want to jump or that you're going to be pushed. So, like, potentially somebody who doesn't have a fear of heights is like, oh, I don't want to get close to the edge because I feel as though someone might push me. Some people believe that that whole area and, like, the dark feelings and then jumping off the ledge has to do with the indigenous folklore creatures, the pukwudgies. And they're, like, these little hairy creatures that are, like, kind of, like, tricky. They're like, they're not very good spirits. They're, like, evil spirits.
I mean, if they kind of want you to toss yourself over the ledge.
I think they're known for, like, putting, like, dark thoughts into your head. It may not surprise you because of all of the strange crimes and killings that the Fall River State Forest is also home to a lot of ghost sightings and paranormal encounters.
I think you get murder, you get unrested spirits, and finished business.
Satanic.
Yep. Cults.
Satanic business going on.
Yeah.
Crazy business.
It makes sense.
Many people visiting the forest have reported feeling constantly watched or having eyes on them as they walked along the paths or explored the forest. So I mentioned these before. According to Wampanoag lore, pukwudgies stand 3 feet tall. They're porcupine-like creatures with the ability to shapeshift, and they possess poison arrows, apparently. They're sometimes referred to as little forest people. They are blamed for pushing hikers off trails, blinding victims with sand, and guiding travelers to their deaths. These are among some negative forest spirits in local indigenous tales and folklore. Now, in general, paranormal happenings linger all throughout the forest. Some people have said they've heard screams in the forest, phantom screams, some believing that it's connected to the murders that occurred here. People have heard phantom drumming, and some have even heard ghostly laughter. There's said to be a ghost of a red-headed hitchhiker that haunts Route 44 nearby, who often appears suddenly and disappears laughing.
That's creepy.
A lot of people have witnessed him and very vividly described his appearance. That's why he's known as the red-headed hitchhiker. He is said to sometimes appear in cars.
Like you picked him up.
Yeah.
My goodness.
And he's known to cause radios to malfunction.
Frequency.
There have been also a lot of reports of seeing dark human-like figures moving through the trees. I read an account by this husband and wife in 2000, the year 2000.
Good year.
that were visiting the forest as they explained their experience with phantom drumming and seeing what seemed to be 4 cloudy/smoky figures standing in the forest. They described this incident as feeling as if they had entered a different time, like they weren't meant to be there. It was like a really long thing. I didn't include all of it because it was like a little bit crazy.
They have been like teleported to a different
time period? Yeah, like to like before settlers. And like there's obviously a lot of native history obviously, but like
happenings.
So their kind of thought was like we kind of entered this little time warp and
flashback,
seeing the ghosts of the past, and their activities, but in like a weird, like, we know that we're not supposed to be here,
but we're seeing it anyways.
But we're seeing it. It's almost like a projection.
Yeah.
Kind of. But they didn't say, like, the figures acknowledged them, or they didn't say that, but that entered
stepped into
a weird time, like, hole or something. Another account I read of a man who was having a troubled time, so he went into the forest to clear his head or to connect to nature or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He described himself as not a spiritual or religious person, but his experience in the forest kind of changed his mind. He found a circle of rocks in a figure-8 shape, and he sat near them on the ground. I'm paraphrasing because this was also a really long story, but he was going through a bit of a rough time with work and with life and mentally and stuff, and he's like, I just need to be in nature.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, okay, I'm sitting down near these rocks, this weird figure-8 rock formation, and he was thinking heavily and closed his eyes. He said that he could still hear the birds singing nearby and feel the wind blowing against his face, but he was like really deep in thought. And he's like, I was only like that for a couple of minutes. It was only a few minutes. When he suddenly felt a hand on his shoulder, accompanied by a voice of a man speaking in a language that he didn't know. Although he didn't know the language, he understood the words that were being said to him. And he didn't say exactly what they were. I think he's kind of keeping that private, but whatever it was to kind of helped his mental state.
Interesting.
When he opened his eyes, what felt like only a couple of minutes had actually been 2 hours. So he entered some kind of meditative state, maybe some kind of, again, another like time thing happened. Another story, I think it was from a witch or like a spiritual practitioner, which a lot of witches and covens practice in this forest because of nature, obviously, and also because it's so dense and private. This woman claimed to have an experience where she was doing a prayer ceremony and she felt eyes on her, like intense eyes on her. She was getting freaked out, so she was trying to pack her things and dismantle her altar and leave quickly when she looked up and saw a figure in the field nearby. She said it looked like the spirit of a young boy skipping through the grass. She described him as being totally solid, but all around him was a strange green light. Kind of like an aura, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
She said that she believed he was not of this world. She says he acknowledged her and smiled and then continued walking until he literally faded away, like his body faded away. People have also reported seeing unexplainable flashes of light and shadows often within the forest. So that's a lot. And that's only one location. Next we have Profile Rock. And this is located inside the Free River State Forest, close to Slab Bridge. This rock formation stands about 50 feet tall, and it's not a natural rock formation.
It's man-made?
Yeah, historians believe that it most likely was caused by a dynamite explosion in the 1800s, and it fell in a way that one of the rocks sort of looks like the profile of a person's face.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking it up.
Some people say that the face resembles that of the Wampanoag chief at that time.
Wow.
But legends of this mysterious rock also say that sometimes in the evenings, just before the sun is setting, there's a ghost of a man seen sitting by the rock as if to pray. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's really cool.
Unfortunately, I wrote 2029, but actually it was 2019. Unfortunately, in 2019, a large chunk of the rock formation fell and tumbled away, so the site has been blocked off for safety. I'm not sure if it's still blocked off, but a lot of people were saying that it's kind of, you can't really access it and, go there.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have the Solitude Stone. So the Solitude Stone is another mysterious rock located inside the Free River Forest. It's a large stone that sits next to the Nukkakesek.
Well, this is a hard one.
Nunkatesset River. Apologies, guys. On the side of the road. Though it is really hidden, it features a short poem that was carved into it from 1852. And though there have been some theories on who could have written it, truthfully it is unknown who did it or why they did it. The poem reads, "All ye who in future days walk by the Nunkatesset stream, love not him who hummed his lay cheerful to the parting beam, but the beauty that he wooed in this quiet solitude." Solitude Stone is also sometimes referred to as the Suicide Stone, and this is because of a dark history and its lore. Firstly, because the stone was discovered in the early 1900s during a search in the forest for a missing person whose body was later found not far from the stone. It is also said that in 1880, a man named John Crane shot himself near the stone's location. So many believe that the spirits of the two who died close to the stone still linger close by.
Yeah. That one's a little bit of a strange one because what I was reading was some people know for sure who wrote this poem in the stone, and then others are like, we don't know who wrote it because no one signed it. Nobody watched someone do it. They just believe it was a reverend or like a religious guy in a small church close by that did it. But also,
how do you prove that?
How do you prove that? And then the like kind of sad, weird things that happened around the stone's location too. That one's crazy. It's not crazy, it's just sad. Next we have Hockomock Swamp. Hockomock Swamp is considered to be the largest freshwater swamp in the state of Massachusetts. Wow. It's nearly 17,000 acres of land.
Of swampland. That's big. I mean, in like when I was looking at the map, the highlighted area did take up a good chunk of the top part of the triangle. Yeah. Like it was just like almost like the first, I don't know, it kind of looked like 20% of the triangle was made up of the actual swamp.
It's a big, like the nature part is the majority of the triangle. So Hockomock is an Algonquin term meaning place where spirits dwell. And it's known to be a native burial ground, which is, if we know anything about anything, we know that it's not good to disturb that.
You do not touch it. You just
leave it alone.
Let it be.
This is thought to be the most haunted spot in the Bridgewater Triangle, and at the very least, it's the spot with the most activity in reports. From the years 1675 to 1676, there was a huge conflict between the Wampanoag tribe, other native tribes, and the English settlers / colonists. This was called King Philip's War. It's considered to be the deadliest war in colonial American history, with hundreds, if not thousands, of casualties.
And with this devastating conflict between New England colonialists and Native American tribes, it resulted in the destruction of numerous towns across Massachusetts, and the war lasted about a year. It was named after Metacom, the Wampanoag leader who led an alliance of the indigenous people against New England's colonialists. The English colonialists called him King Philip because of his father Massachusetts' friendly relations with them, and his own adoption of the English name. As tensions broke into violence over land encroachment and broken treaties, the English identified the conflict with its primary leader.
Yeah, so that's why they named it King Philip's War. It wasn't literally King Philip, but it was a war. It was a bad one. The Hockomock Swamp was said to be the fortress of the Wampanoag people, and I'm assuming that this means a base point during the war. Some say that indigenous spirits have cursed the area because the land was taken away from them. I would not doubt that. And others believe that it's haunted by the huge number of souls of those who lost their lives on the land during King Philip's War.
Also very plausible.
Very, very. Now into some of the spooky stories and lore of this place. I really didn't even know where to start.
There's just so
in
much.
What area, under what topic, under what subgenre, because there's just
it's all happened.
Anything weird has happened here. This location is said to have been home to a mysterious 8,000-year-old Native American burial ground. I'm saying it's mysterious because When it was discovered by archaeologists and excavated, suddenly all of the bodies disappeared. So people are not certain what happened with all of those. There have been UFO sightings, cryptid sightings, weird ghost experiences, unexplainable happenings, run-ins with wild animals, very big and very scary wild animals, and a lot of reports of overall strange, eerie vibes. Okay, so one of the most frequently reported phenomena in the swamp is a large, hairy, humanoid creature.
Sarah, I think we know what this one is.
Obviously, this is thought to be Bigfoot.
100%.
Our buddy Bigfoot.
Biggie!
In 1978, Joseph DeAndrade, the leader of a paranormal research group, accounts an experience where he believes he encountered Bigfoot in the Hockomock Swamp. He relays his experience as seeing a half-ape, half-man creature walking into the brush of the swamp, though he noted it was about 200 meters away from him, so he didn't get like a
crystal clear view.
Close-up look.
Yeah.
In 1970, reports of a Bigfoot-like 7-foot hairy monster and its footprints were investigated. Okay, the Bridgewater and Massachusetts state police. So Bridgewater, as like the region, they're like little regional police, plus the state police came to do an investigation or a search because they thought it was a bear, but it wasn't a bear. Neither man nor bear was ever found for creating the footprints or to like explain this 7-foot hairy creature.
Oh, good.
So that's pretty cool. It seems like the 1970s, there was a lot of investigating, particularly of Bigfoot, both sightings and evidence of Bigfoot. The most known and common piece of evidence is the infamous Bigfoot footprint. So there's a lot of that going on. Another strange creature people have witnessed in the area is a huge 8 to 12 foot bird creature. And now initially I was like, oh, it's our buddy, the Mothman. But the way that people describe this thing is a little bit weird.
As opposed to Mothman.
Purely
logical.
People described seeing a pterodactyl-like big black bird. And in 1984, there was a specific report of allegedly 2 of these creatures fighting each other in the sky just above the swamp. Some people have said that it's the creature or cryptid thunderbirds. So like very, 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 very large birds. 12 feet tall large birds.
Lordy Lord.
It's not just cryptids people have claimed to see in the swamp, but also a lot of reports of strange sky anomalies and UFOs. And by the way, these sightings have gone back not just years, but centuries. One of the first strange encounters dates back to 1760, when witnesses reported seeing what they described as an inexplicable sphere of fire.
Just a fireball up in the sky.
In the Bridgewater and Roxbury area that they claimed was even brighter than the sun.
Girl, how?
I don't know. In 1908, on Halloween night, 2 undertakers are those grave people, right?
Yep.
Were traveling from West Bridgewater to Bridgewater. They reported observing a giant lantern-like object in the sky that remained suspended for almost 40 minutes. I'm including this one because I thought it was really interesting, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Not the report, but like specifying that it happened on Halloween night.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't verify that, but I thought that it was kind of cool. In 1999, a local resident described hearing a loud noise and then witnessing bright lights descending rapidly towards her house. Just as it looked like the lights were about to collide with her house, they abruptly moved sideways at an incredible speed and then quickly vanished. Apparently, several helicopters appeared in the sky shortly after she saw the light, so I wonder how that's connected. Maybe that was a little trying to cover something up. Okay, now we get into the ghosts of it all.
Ghosts.
A lot of people have reported seeing various kinds of apparitions in the swamp while visiting. Though I couldn't find any official reports, there were lots of Reddit stories, but nothing documented that I could find in any articles of like specific experiences with dates. Over time, in general, some have claimed to see apparitions in the swamp as well as hearing phantom voices, similar to in the Free River State Forest. Others have reported seeing strange light anomalies, and one common occurrence of hearing phantom footsteps following throughout the swamp until they leave. The people are like footsteps behind me the entire time I was there.
Walking right behind me.
Right up until I left. In general, people visiting the swamp frequently report sudden cold spots, feeling watched at all times, and a general uneasy, eerie feeling. It's just, it doesn't have good vibes there. And I would attribute most of that to it being a native burial ground. Because, I don't know, like you just shouldn't. You just shouldn't be there.
Don't mess with it. Just respect it. Leave it be. Buddhist.
It's a place of, like, this is where we put our loved ones that are passed, and, like, we don't touch it. We leave them because that's, like, a different world. That's a different...
Yeah. Do you want to...
Oh, yeah, let's take a little... Actually, yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point now. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. It's our last intermission of the season, and we're gonna do a little tarot pull and a little what's sipping for you guys.
Yay! Oh, Lincoln's so excited he's now running away.
Oh my god. Today is a special one because Mackenzie is doing the tarot pull.
Woo!
With her new deck.
I feel like it's not that new anymore.
Oh.
These two are not gonna do.
Okay, well, first we got the Wheel of Fortune. That's a good one.
That's a very good one.
And this one says luck, fortune, destiny, and success. That's a very good card.
I'm waiting for it to jump out like yours do.
Sometimes it won't. And we have Queen of Pentacles.
How many do you want me to pull?
I think that's good. This one says abundant, generous, and comfortable.
Wow, guys, what a good pull.
That's really good, especially these two together, because we've got luck and fortune on our side. We're going to be stable in our finances. We're going to be having good vibes.
Shall we read from the book?
Let's do it.
Fortune, destiny, success, positive, charm, or change, opportunities, cosmic momentum, cycles, karma, chance, expansion, direction, movement. What goes around comes around.
Full circle
loop, closing the loop. We love. Empowering meanings, luck and prosperity are yours. Fate is on your side. Destiny is calling. Things are turning out in your favor.
That's very good.
If things have been tough for a while, it is a sign that you will soon come out of any difficulties and be put back on top. Wheel of Fortune is a card of destiny, and when it shows up, it asks you to trust that you are on the right path and that what is meant for you, you will find, as long as you keep your heart, mind, and eyes open.
That's a nice one. That was something we talked about doing this year, is closing loops, too, which is like, I think I personally need to start practicing that.
I feel that. I do too. Okay. Queen of Pentacles, we have abundant, generous, comfortable, dependable, successful, wealthy, nurturing, luxury, gratitude, encouragement, love of nature, motherly, kind-hearted, down-to-earth, steadfast, body of wisdom. As a person, the Queen of Pentacles, people are warm and generous with their wealth, love, time, and energy. They are grounded and patient. They have learned so much on their journey of creating a beautiful life for themselves, and they love sharing their wisdom and wealth with others. Ooh. Empowering meanings include: be grateful for all that you've created, manifested, and received. Count your blessing, of which there are so many. Continue to nurture and encourage the seeds that you have planted to keep growing into even more abundance. Share your wealth, time, experience, and heart with others.
I like that. Those are some good ones. And what are we sipping on today?
What are we sipping? I just have a French pressed coffee with French vanilla creamer.
Yummy.
What are you sipping on, Miss?
I have a little tea. It's a little David's tea. Mm-hmm. And what flavor is it?
Called Maui Madness.
Maui Madness. And it's so good.
It's really good.
It's a little tropical.
I got it as a little gift, kind of, as a thank you for going to a work thing. And I will be going to the store and buying more.
Yeah, putting it on the list. And I'm drinking mine out of a cup. A teacup. A vintage-looking teacup. Mm-hmm. And it has... you have been poisoned inside of it.
I don't even think I've used it. Like, I think
really?
you're the first person using it.
Why? You shouldn't let me do that.
Why? I should have the tea aficionado use my teacup. It's proper. Like, it comes with a little saucer and everything. Mm-hmm. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us on our...
Thanks for joining us.
Tarot pull and what's sipping segment.
The last one of the season. All right, Miss Girl.
Back into the
Bridgewater
Triangle lore. Now we're talking about our next little pit stop on our road trip through the triangle.
It's nip and nick it, not nip and ticket.
It's Lake Nippon-Ticket.
Nippon-Ticket.
No, Lippenicken.
Yeah. No.
This is how I'm going to refer to it. Sometimes the locals refer to it as the Nip.
The Nip.
So we're going to refer to it as the Nip.
The Nip.
It is actually a body of water in the land or area of the Hockomock Swamp. Mm-hmm. One of the oldest local legends at this lake is about a man who drowned while fishing in the lake. Some have reported seeing an old man in a boat late at night rowing silently down the river. Silently until both he and the boat disappeared. Witnesses have also reported unusual lights around the lake, such as glowing orbs hovering above the water, moving lights in the trees, bright flashes appearing and then suddenly disappearing. Mm-hmm. And these lights are sometimes grouped with the spook lights, which are a phenomenon reported throughout the Bridgewater Triangle. There are also a couple little islands in the middle of the lake, which some locals have claimed to be spots for cult activities and rituals, as sometimes there have been ritual-like items or ritual-related items found there. And we did find somewhere that some people have also allegedly hear a woman's voice calling for help around the lake.
Yeah.
Possibly like a siren.
Oh, interesting.
Luring people.
It could be. Bigfoot's there.
We got all the cryptids
We've got
going
all of
on.
the creatures. Next we have...
the word Taunton there. I don't know if this is a good place to go.
Taunton State Hospital. The hospital was established in 1854 as the state, quote, lunatic hospital.
Nice.
It has a reputation for being haunted due to its grim history of poor conditions, abuse, and controversial treatments like lobotomies.
Shocker.
Some have said that during its operation in the early years, a local satanic cult actually ran the hospital, even claiming that rituals were performed on patients. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but I will say it's crazy the amount of satanic and cult activity going on in the Triangle. Mm-hmm. In about every location we talk about, there's some sort of cult satanic stuff going on.
The quartz.
Maybe it's drawing out the crazies. There are a lot of strange markings on the walls of the basement that feed into that theory as well. Ooh. And reports from staff while the hospital was running, closer to the end of operating, I believe, that some staff would go down to the basement, and once they got to the last step, an unseen force would literally stop them, and they couldn't go any further or move. So something was stopping them from going into the basement.
Wall. An invisible brick wall.
An invisible, yeah. A lot of people, while investigating, have said they heard disembodied screams and cries while in the building.
It's the building materials echoing.
Ugh, yeah. It's stuck. Obviously, something's stuck there. Mm-hmm. Stories from inside this place have told of shadows slipping in and out of patient rooms. Knocking and phantom footsteps are also a common occurrence. They have even said that staff taking care of the place frequently washed off the strange markings on the walls and the words, only for them to reappear again and again. So what I understand from that is not as in somebody's going back and like spray painting.
Yeah, no.
It's just that it's like they can't wash it off. Even when they think that they have, it comes back. There's also said to be a shadowy spider-like entity that roams the halls. Yeah, that one made me like actually sick to my stomach.
Why do I instantly think of this like big thing?
Ew.
That barely fits.
I don't want to think about it.
Ooh.
The hospital has its own cemetery, and there are hundreds of grave markers there. And from what I read, I'm led to believe that there are a lot more bodies than there are grave markers, although there are hundreds of grave markers. This place definitely deserves its own episode and to dive a little deeper into it, because it's kind of giving like the Preston Castle vibes of the mistreatment, but we would have to dive very deep into it. Not for this episode. Some people have said that the hauntings at the hospital are so potent that they have even seeped into the surrounding woods. People have experiences around the hospital too, not just inside of it. And now I'm gonna include this little fun fact. Oh my god.
Guys, I was so excited I knocked everything over.
She knocked everything on the table.
I jumped out of my skin when I saw this next line.
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Okay, if you guys know... If you know anything about anything, you will have heard about the Lizzie Borden murders. Well, did you know that the Lizzie Borden murders occurred inside the Bridgewater Triangle? So the Lizzie Borden house is in fact inside the triangle. It's located in the town of Fall River. And another little fun-ish fact, After the murders, she was held in Taunton Jail, which is directly beside the Taunton State Hospital. I really do want to cover this one eventually in an upcoming episode, so I won't go into detail, but if you know the Lizzie Borden case, it's absolutely insane that it happened inside the Bridgewater Triangle. It's just like a beacon for horrible stuff, weird stuff, crazy stuff, cult stuff, all of it.
All the good stuff that we need to cover in another episode, because we don't simply have enough time for the remainder of this episode to go into it.
Yeah.
We need to dedicate a full proper hour. At least.
For each location.
Literally. All right. And now, next stop on our little road trip around the triangle, we're going to the Hornbein School. This is located in Rehoboth town.
Rehoboth is how the other people in the videos were saying
town. It was built in 1862 and operated until 1937. Okay, to summarize the architecture, it was a single-room schoolhouse building. Mm-hmm. There have been reports of locals hearing voices emanating from within the building's walls. Neighbors have also claimed to hear voices and other sounds when the school was locked up and vacant. Others have seen apparitions of a teacher and students dressed in 19th century clothing within the locked building. And some have even seen spirits... Gesundheit?
I'm so sorry.
And some have seen spirits of children playing in the grass near the schoolhouse.
So it's like, I looked at pictures and it really is just like a traditional schoolhouse, like prairie, white ship, yeah, exactly, like one room schoolhouse. Creepy though that stuff is still going on, but I mean,
it's as long as it's been there.
It was operating for a long time. Yeah, it's old, so
those bricks, the building materials, guys,
everything. Now we're going to Bridgewater State University. The Bridgewater State University was
rip that motorcycle, y'all. Jeez.
Was founded in 1840 as the Bridgewater Normal School. I don't know why it was called that. Regardless, the campus auditorium is said to be haunted by the spirit of a man named George. Students have said that they've seen his apparition playing various instruments in the orchestra pit late in the night. He's also known for stealing scripts and playing with the lighting on the stage.
Mm-hmm. George is a little trickster.
He's a little trickster. He's very active. Mm-hmm. In the Woodward Hall, there's a notorious haunting that includes somebody running up and down the halls screaming fire. Oh. So it's not a real person.
No.
This is kind of the history of that specific area of the school. In 1924, the old Woodward dormitory actually burned down, and there's a legend that there was a girl screaming fire, and she was the one who initially set the fire. They said that she died during that night, but there's no, like, official records of a death that happened during the fire. So it could be, but we don't know for sure.
Could have not happened.
Yeah.
No record.
I will say that there's a lot of activity at this place.
Yep.
And a lot of different experiences. So, and it's also, again, like a very old building. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was some stuff that was not documented.
Or they got lost or burned up in the fire.
Some paranormal investigators have said that there's an overwhelming feeling of death in the student apartments, which is sad and creepy and scary to feel that in a school.
Yeah.
Like, a feeling of death, that's weird. It's very weird.
Doesn't belong there.
It doesn't. It's a very, like, a juxtaposition, right? Yeah. Of, like, a school is, like, you're learning, growth, and it's, like, new.
Development.
Yeah.
Death is literally the opposite. It is the end.
So
stopping.
That's super weird. There is another building called the Shea Durgan Hall. Mm-hmm. Inside the school, it's also said to have some extreme activity. Reports of a ghost running around the bathroom, turning on and off showers, or changing the water from hot to cold or cold to hot. Also reports of something changing and moving the chairs around in the common areas, as well as stacking cans unexplainably. So students would, like, walk out and there's just a tower of cans, I guess.
Of cans.
It seems like everyone who has been here, whether it's staff or students or investigators, have all had unexplainable experiences or ghost stories to share. That one also really deserves its own episode. Yeah. And then we go to the Rehoboth Village Cemetery. Rehoboth is one of the oldest settlements in the United States, and in the small town there's a large number of cemeteries. This is because it's been around for so long.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Most famously is reports of seeing a man, or rather the ghostly figure of a man, seemingly praying or crying at a grave when, this is what people are reporting, when suddenly he jumps up and he begins punching the ground beneath him.
Interesting.
And that's like more than one report of seeing this, that's a very specific sequence of events. There's also sightings of a ghost boy wearing 19th century clothing, and he's often seen moving behind the headstones, which is a little bit creepy.
Kind of like playing,
perhaps. Maybe. And of course, there's a woman in white, a white lady.
Always.
Who is sometimes seen floating above the headstones.
Okay.
It's pretty classic hauntings there.
Yeah.
But weird in like the specificity, like how specific they are.
And how many people have seen the same thing happening.
Yeah, exactly. That's all. We're ending our road trip. We're ending the trip because we've gone to most every point of the Bridgewater Triangle.
The key
every single area. Yeah. So we have a general consensus. Well, it's not our general consensus, but the general consensus of
population.
Yeah, of the Bridgewater Triangle. There is a paranormal investigator named Christopher Balzano, and he said that the very land is a live energy. And it's a living testament to evil that rules when legend and tragedy converge.
Wow. So what a beautiful way to put that.
We've discussed this in like many, many, many episodes.
Almost all of them.
During this season of the podcast. The concept of land being haunted and kind of debating whether it's the land itself that has some sort of like energy, weird frequency or some weird energy going on that it kind of attracts bad things to happen, or if the like culmination of these like heinous crimes, murders, like burial grounds, that like all of these things that are like the weird activity that's happening, if that is creating all of the other like paranormal activity and weird things happening. It's like the chicken and the egg theory, like which that's kind of interesting. Another paranormal expert named Chris Pittman says that the Bridgewater Triangle is a vortex, and I quite believe that statement. He said, quote, "Some say that the wounded and pained spirits of the Wampanoag are the reason for the paranormal in the swamp. That is part of the explanation, but I would go further. I think the vortex was in place in the swamp before the settlers and before the Native Americans. That vortex contributed to the inhumanity of the war between the Wampanoag and the English, and it fosters pain and evil in that area to this day." So his theory is that it's the land. It's not whatever the natives were doing. It's not whatever the settlers were doing. It's not whatever the frickin' gang activity stuff that was going on.
Yeah.
It was always there. Which is an interesting theory too. It's like something that supersedes like humans, basically. Like
there's
an energy.
No also like avoiding it. Like it's not something like humans have done.
Yeah.
Necessarily.
It's
like,
not something created. It's just has always been. Now it's Reddit
reading stories from Reddit. Reddit reads.
It's our last Reddit reads of the season.
Bum, bum, bum.
We're concluding with our favorite segment. I'll go cry again.
We're doing Reddit reads in season 2.
Oh yeah, for sure. But we're just
season 1 Reddit reads.
Yeah.
Reddit reads can be its whole episode.
I was thinking about, because we don't get a lot of, we really would like to have listener stories to read for ourselves and to also read in our little What's Brewing episodes. However, if you guys would rather us do like What's Brewing becomes our like kind of official Reddit reads episodes where we like pick longer stories and they're themed, like we could also do that. I don't have a problem with that. Let us know what you guys would rather see, because we would love to hear our listeners' personal experiences,
what
of
you guys
course.
Have gone through. But if you guys don't necessarily have a ton of experiences, then we can find more people who have had things happen.
And I think sometimes it's nice to like read a long story and not have to write an episode. So we can do that too if you guys would like to see some deeper, denser Reddit reads.
Deep dance Reddit reads.
We can do that for you. Just let us know. And you guys can help us pick topics.
Or if you find one that you think needs to be shared with
send
the
them.
group.
Yeah, exactly.
Send us a Reddit.
Yeah. So tell us what you guys want, and we'll do it.
Yeah.
It's your world. We're just...
Talking in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Reddit reads.
Our first story, it's kind of a 3-part little stories by the same Redditor.
Okay.
But it was all in one place.
Blurb. Okay.
So I'll just read them out.
Yes, ma'am.
They're just quick little ones, okay? I grew up square in the middle of the Bridgewater Triangle.
Crazy how your shapes work in that. First off, square in the middle of the triangle.
Yeah, that's...
Love it. Let's toss a circle in. Keep continuing.
Never saw anything spooky personally, and frankly don't believe any of it, but here are 3 things that my friends have claimed. Okay, a pond in Stonehill College. One of my friends was smoking weed and walking the grounds when they heard a massive bang coming from the direction of the pond. They saw a thick fog over it, and he swears that the silhouette of a man tried to drag himself out of the pond. He freaked out and ran a few steps to the opposite direction, and when he turned back, only the fog was there. No explanation for the bang.
That's crazy.
That actually makes me want to throw up. He saw a figure climbing out of the pond. You can stay there, actually.
I gotta go.
Okay, the next story. There are ruins of an old mill right off the street in the northwest corner of Easton. A different friend of mine swears he saw floating lights in the woods that contain the ruins. Years later, the town put up a little historical sign about the site. Apparently, there were rumors at the time when it was originally operational that the owner was a reported wizard who used satanic imps to run the mill at night.
Okay.
So that's some crazy lore right there.
That's something. That's quite the rumor to go around.
Yeah. Satanic imps. That's a little...
By a wizard?
Interesting.
What was it? A sawmill?
No, just a old mill. Just an old mill. Mm-hmm. Maybe a water mill? I don't know. The next one says, I went to LSIS, that's a school I'm assuming, for 4th and 5th grade.
Okay.
It's a beautiful, super old building right in the center of town. Lots of nooks and crannies and hidden hallways and rooms to explore. I remember lots of kids saying that they heard laughter or voices when we would sneak around during recess in the building in the school. Oh. So that's crazy. That's a short story. That's like a bunch of little short ones, but like that attests to the activity going on
continuously weird
at the
things.
Schools, in the woods, like just
in the old buildings.
Day-to-day activity.
All right, our next one, quote unquote, straight from the source. Me and a couple friends went over there about a year ago just to check on everything out. There was a thick fog that rolled up on us, and that's not even the worst of it. A huge semi-truck started speeding at us when we were crossing the street. We ran across, and when we looked back, there was never a truck. There was never a truck even there. Looking at each other to confirm we all saw the same thing, we decided to leave. We like to refer to this story as ghost truck.
Yeah. There's also kind of a common thread of experiences in the triangle on some of the back roads is seeing like phantom vehicles that like appear and then disappear. There was one about, I didn't include it because I couldn't find specifically where it was. On one of the roads, people have claimed that there's like an old pickup truck that they see or like tries to interact with them or something, like the truck, but then it like disappears. Weird one. Oh, our last one. Okay. I grew up in New Bedford and would go hiking and spend the night out there in the Freetown State Forest not very far from Profile Rock. My brother and I had experienced on more than one occasion things that were not explainable. This would have been between 1990 and 1999. We heard ritualistic drums and chanting one night. Another night, glowing orbs that we thought were other people carrying lanterns or high-powered flashlights. However,
that's a good explanation.
There were no people upon checking it out. They just faded away before our eyes. Never mind the screams that you would hear in the dead of night carried by the darkness. That's very crazy. Deep in the dense woods.
Just screams. Just to haunt you.
Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode.
Would you ever go to the Bridgewater Triangle?
I would, yeah.
Which would be your first stop along that trip?
Probably the Freetown State Forest.
Yeah.
Because I like forests and like...
Nice going on a nice little trail. Hike.
Yeah.
I was trying to say hike, but it
Hike and walk.
Mixed up with walk.
A hike walk is just a hawk.
A hawk. There we go.
A nice little hawk in the state forest.
For the ghosts.
Because I just like, I would visit for sure because I like nature and stuff and like going for walks, so for sure.
It looks also like fairly picturesque as well.
And I like the like kind of secludedness of it. So yeah, I would be interested to go and see what we can see.
See what we can see.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Basically this whole season because we've never done this before and it was so fun to do this.
And we're going to continue. We're having so much fun. We will continue.
We're going to keep going until you tell us to stop, basically. Until you no longer want to hear our voices, we're going to keep going.
There's so much to tell.
Yes.
There's plenty of supernatural and paranormal and weird and peculiar happenings going on.
Mysteries, weird things.
That need to be discussed.
That we have to talk about. We're going to talk about it anyway, so we might as well let you guys in on it.
Exactly.
Okay, well, I don't know how to end it.
Sarah's trying not to cry.
If you have any of your own spooky stories or paranormal happenings or witchy experiences, you can send your stories to teatalestalks@gmail.com or send them to us through our spooky stories submission form in our link tree, which, by the way, it's going to be open during our break. So you can still send us stories. We're still going to be reading emails. We're still going to be active on our socials.
Working around.
Yes.
Yeah, doing stuff.
So please talk to us. Send us things.
And like Sarah said, we're going to be active. We're going to be doing stuff. So be sure to follow us on Instagram, T-Tales Talks, to keep up to date with everything that we're up to and all of our upcoming spooky episodes. And until next time, our twitchy witchy friends, stay spooky and don't let your tea get cold.